Welcome to another podcast with Dr. Parviz Rashwand, our naturopathic and quantum specialist here at LH. Today, we're going to speak about conscious parenting. What is conscious parenting? How does it help us, and how does it help our children? A warm welcome, Dr. Parviz.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm very happy to have had this chance to share some of my knowledge with everybody who may be interested. I'm sure any caring parent who will listen to this podcast, they are going to benefit from the information we are going to share about how to have better children, better performing, acting children in future. This is a part of our knowledge which is growing very fast. A lot of us were not aware of this information before, but now we know. Before I explain how things happen in the future and how they affect the future of a child, I'm going to give you a little bit of a scientific background. There is a device we use in medicine called electroencephalogram, EEG. This device is designed to measure the electrical currents or the pulses of the brain. Every doctor knows about this. This is a diagnostic device to show how the brain pulses function. It gives a lot of information to trained physicians to know about the health of the brain. If we use this electroencephalogram on children, babies, adults, even during the infancy, we see that various pulses of the brain are produced in different dimensions or different parts of life. I'm going to explain what it means.
Interesting. Yeah.
During the fetal time, let's start from the moment of birth. When we look at the pulses of the brain of a newborn until age 2, roughly, this is a vibration at the level of delta. Delta is a very, very slow vibration, something between 0.5 to 4 hertz oscillation per second. From the age of 2 to almost 7, the pulses of the brain starts to go faster. It goes to the level of theta. Theta is about 4 to 8 hertz oscillation per second. At around the age of 7, it becomes alpha. Alpha is about, let's say, 8 to 12 hertz. And around age 12 and on, it goes to a full function, which is beta.
Beta, yes.
Beta is like 12 to about 36 oscillation, something that is happening in us right now.
Exactly.
So slowly when the child grows and develops into adulthood, the brain also develops into something bigger. Therefore, we see the pulses starts to increase. Now, what do they mean? When we look at the delta pulse, which happens from the moment of birth, we can measure it until age 2. In adult, it is like sleeping. When we are in a comfort sleeping position, our brain waves slows down to the level of delta.
Delta, yes.
This is sleeping. That's why you see a lot of newborn babies are sleeping most of the time. Yeah.
Correct.
Around age, let's say, as I said, 2 and above until 7, it increases to theta. Theta, as I said, is about 4 to 8 hertz. This is imagination. You see the life of a little child?
Yes.
There's a lot of imaginations involved with the experience of the life.
True.
Yeah? This level of theta is also level of hypnosis. If you look at the life of a child from age 2 to 7, there is incredible amount of information about life, the details of life, as if being downloaded into this child. It starts to understand the environment. What is the difference when the father, the mother talk to them, and how it varies when they talk to other children or to each other. So there is differentiation, and the child starts subconsciously downloading that information. So it's like it starts recording everything around it. It's not just that. When we look at the last trimester, which is the last 3 months of pregnancy, we see these pulses of theta being produced by the fetus. This means that the fetus, even if it's not born yet, it's experiencing the perception of the mother, how the mother feels about herself, about life.
Or
what
collecting
happens,
data from the environment.
Bravo. it comes and it's stored. It is stored within the subconscious part of the child, to be the child, because not born yet, in order to create the boundaries around the child. So that is really important for the parents to know. Our children are copy pasting everything that happens around them, starting from the parents and the family, and then the TV or the programs they're being exposed to, later on the schools, books, everything. So it's an ocean of information that creates life, and we are thriving within it, from being a small little seed until the moment of birth, and then growing into
beyond
adulthood.
and beyond.
Yeah.
And I just have to interrupt you because I have one adult now and a teenager, and a lot of things that we see, we say, oh, it's genetic, but it was really, and we see that they are a mirror image of ourselves, because they are a mirror image of what we have put out to them, to the world.
Exactly. Because they start downloading the information, and you don't have to be aware of that. You just learn. You drive home, and then you reach home. You don't even realize which route you took.
No, it's on autopilot.
And you wonder, exactly. That autopilot is a subconscious, where about 95% of all our behavior and acts are stored already there. When? From before being born until age of 7. That's why that part is so crucial, to create a child with a personality, to what to achieve, what the boundaries are. You know, some children, when they become teenager or early adulthood, they imagine they want to take an entry exam to medical school, law school. They have to write an exam, and suddenly something in them says that, hey, this is not for you. This is for smart children, even though it's a good student, but because something happened long time ago, and one of those people whom he trusted so much, suddenly they told the child that, you, excuse my language, you stupid. Everybody knows what is 2 + 5 - 1. How come you don't know? And the child is nervous, gives wrong answer, and that bang, it is stored. It is carved somewhere.
Yes.
And then based on that, the child creates the boundaries. How far can I go? How far can I jump? What can I achieve? It goes all back to the information that has been stored in them previously. So that's why we have to be very careful and to be in the best behavior as we can around our children. Remember, they are copy-pasting everything that happens to them.
True.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question there, actually?
Please.
Because sometimes it can be the opposite way too, Dr. Parviz, where we say to our children, you are a genius. You are, the best, blah, blah. And it can work against us as well, right?
Sure, as long as the message is affecting them properly, as long as we put feeling behind that, as long as we try our best for them to be the best.
Right.
Yeah, it has to have the truth element behind it so that it could have the right impact.
Exactly. Yeah. Not just that they are told, because I feel when we tell our kids that you are a genius or this and that they may work less hard because they say, I've already been gifted. And that's not what we're that's not the message either that we're trying to give them, right?
Exactly.
So it's not that you are so sorry, but that you are dumb or stupid, but also I believe we shouldn't, spoon feed them that you're the best, that you're genius, you're this and that, because that takes away the drive.
Exactly. So we talked about delta, which is sleeping, happens in newborn children until age 2 roughly, and then we have theta, which is faster oscillation, vibration of the brain, which is imagination and a state of hypnosis when large amount of information is downloaded into the system of that little child to grow. And then we have alpha, which is around age 7, which is consciousness, which is peacefulness, calmness, loving. So the life of a little child involves a lot of these kind of qualities until it is disturbed by people or parents who are not aware of their impact on them.
Conscious, yes.
Bravo. And after that, we go towards full functioning, which is a grown-up child who goes to school around age 12 and on. Is like an adult who is working, is like right now with us. Between 12 to 36 oscillation. This is beta. This is a full functioning. So this is it. Now, let's look at how things, and by the way, this is the basis of our quantum assessment too. With our quantum system, we don't determine what to do. We connect the body of the person, which includes the emotion, memories, feeling, thoughts, everything, past and future, to our quantum system to pick up information which is stored there. Based on the information we see, then we understand where the source of the blockage may be. Yeah, this is our quantum system as well. So let's explain the whole thing from another angle. More or less everybody knows about Nikola Tesla. This is one of the most famous scientists of the 20th century with so many amazing inventions. Tesla was above the average, definitely. He has a very famous quote saying that if you want to know the secret of the creation, think about energy, frequency, and vibration, because this is the truth. Everything in the creation is field of energy interacting with each other at the matter level, at the non-matter level. Like our thoughts is not matter, even though our brain is a material part. Our thoughts is not stored in the brain, and we can talk about it later. So let's talk about frequency, vibration, and energy. Yeah. So imagine oceans of information, like different fields of energy. Imagine big or small size round magnets everywhere. And now after some time, they create balance in interacting with each other. Now, if you add something or delete something or make a size bigger or small, everything has to change to shift the new information in order to adjust. So what we know is that before matter is created, information is there, because in conventional medicine, they talk about the other way. Particles come together, they create cells, body, brain, and then brain creates mind. It's not true at all. So many scientific studies have been done to prove that. So there has to be information involved for the matter to be created. How? Because matter needs to be told what shape to take so that what action could follow that. Yeah, so information is coming. So this could easily be proven by just looking at the work of Masaru Emoto, the Japanese scientist who passed away a couple of years ago, the scientist who discovered by just writing a word on a piece of paper and sticking to a bottle of water when the water is frozen, the little snowflake type crystal that is created shapes completely differently depending on the word, picture, music, or whatever stimulus was exposed to that sample of the water, considering the water was the same from the same source divided into different bottles. This book is available, and again, I use this a lot to teach people about the impact of energy on us, on our health, on our well-being, on our future, on our society, on everything you can imagine.
Can you mention the name of the book?
The Hidden Message in Water by Masaru Emoto, this Japanese scientist. Now, imagine a child is growing from a little seed until it develops into a full-term fetus and then being born and then entering the world and so on. This requires tons of information to come. This information mostly is stored within the subconscious, the autopilot, which you mentioned that already that too. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, about 95% of everything about us is already been produced by the age of 7. Yeah? So that's why they say, give me a child from the birth until age of 7, then I'll give you the man. This is the time to. So in this period, as I said, all the boundaries are going to be defined within the subconscious of that child. So that's why it's so important for us, the parents, to know that our children are watching us even if their eyes are closed. They're hearing us even if they're in the other side of the house or the apartment. The energy goes beyond the boundaries of space and time. They feel it. You think about your mom a few times, suddenly she gives you a call. This is called quantum entanglement. This has not to do anything with the matter connection. There's no cell phone to call. It's just a sensation, feeling that it was entangled with the target, and now there's a response.
And this happens to all of us. We're just thinking about someone, and that next day we either receive a message or a phone call.
Exactly. Now, excuse me. There's also one more very important factor to understand for us, the parents. if you're a mother, you understand very well that a little newborn child doesn't have any way to protect himself. Yeah.
Correct.
Even if there is a fly sitting on his or her face, it cannot shoo it off. Huh?
Yes.
So they need protection. What does that mean? If you look at a bacteria or a full-grown human, there are a bunch of basic instincts that have to be addressed and fulfilled properly. Like, for example, food, which is eating, drinking, shelter. Reproduction is an instinct, yeah? And then we have safety and security. Well, this is a part of the 5 basic instincts that any element to growth definitely depends on them.
On them,
okay?
correct.
Now imagine a little bird creating a nest because there are eggs coming, huh? It picks up tiny little twigs and takes a long time for that little bird to manufacture an amazing nest, like a sophisticated engineer. And imagine the moment the bird sits in the nest to get ready to lay eggs, suddenly it finds out that there is a snake wandering around that tree. What will happen to this egg-laying process? It will stop. Why? Because the physiology suddenly shifts into fight or flight, stress. I'm not going to be safe here.
They suspect danger.
That's it. She can no longer produce eggs. Finished. She has no choice but to leave that nest, create a new life somewhere else where the safety is guaranteed. Okay? So, safety and security. This is the job of us, the parents, to create that safe environment for these little seeds to grow in it. And that safety comes only by the unionship of the parents with the right heart, focusing on keeping this environment as safe and as secure as possible. Where there is problem between the parents who are responsible for bringing those little children into this world, and this safety zone starts to break, the little child, is it going to be okay? Are we going to be okay? Am I going to be safe? Now, this means no more root. In order to stand firmly, we need to be grounded. We need to have connection to the ground. We need to go through the rooting process. And the entire base chakra is about that. What hurts our base chakra the most, which is the essence of safety and security, is element of fear. Of course, when there is fear, it means no safety, no security. You see?
Correct.
Now, imagine 2 people who come together, they create a family, and the children are born. And after some time, they tell each other, you don't give me what I want. I don't receive what I expected from you. And then now they have a problem not understanding that these little things in there are their responsibility. I opened up a portal to bring them in. I have to remain responsible. If I'm not responsible to dedicate enough to the well-being of my children and my family, I should never go for having a child. I should respect the universe. If I go to create this family, then I have to remain responsible because it's my life, it's my thing. It's going to affect me in the right or the wrong way. You see, a lot of people don't follow that.
Yes.
Oh, I don't like you anymore. We don't have enough intimacy. You don't pay enough. And then suddenly they break. And what's going to happen to the universe that you have brought in? You see? Now, this is the key. It's not about bringing children anymore. It's about creating an environment for them that they can grow and develop to their best.
To their best.
That's
it.
conscious
That's the
parenting.
key. Absolutely, to their best. And having witnessed raising 2 incredible boys myself, really everything that we do is for our children. So why not be conscious about it? Because at the end we do say that, right? And we sit with our friends and our parents and families and say, our life was for our children. But to be conscious about it is definitely something else.
This comes from a mom who's intuitively in love with the children and a loving father who learns to ignore his needs in order to promote our need, the family together, yeah?
Exactly.
Not everybody who gives birth to a child becomes a loving parent. Intuitively, we're supposed to be, but sometimes we go through troubles, troubles in life, and then we miss what we're supposed to do. We become selfish. We ignore the needs of others who are us. It's my family.
Correct.
And then they put their own personal thing. And this is the point of breaking
your needs
everything.
Before theirs.
As a result, destroying the safety and security in the life of those children. And consequently, not allowing them to be what they could have been.
100%. Another inspiring day here and podcast with Dr. Parviz Rashwand. Can't thank you enough. And, you know, for me, this is amazing to know, even though one child is almost off to college, but we'll always be parents. But I really hope for those moms and dads to be or having young children, you do listen into this, and please ask any questions, concerns. We're here to help.
Just before I finish, I just want to mention, if people, our audiences, are interested to know more about this, they can look at some of the videos that one of my mentor, Dr. Bruce Lipton, is producing. He talks a lot about conscious parenting with much more details. If anybody might be interested to know more about that, there's a lot of videos on that.
Can we get the info when we put it on our site?
There is. Yeah, I know Bruce since I think 2007, and I've met him before as well. But he's one of the greatest guy who has added so much knowledge to the average humanity. So there are a lot of scientists like him who do very well. So if you need to know more, you can contact us, or you can check more videos from him.
Or come see Dr. Parviz Rashwand himself.
There's a lot of information available nowadays.
And that you can give so much more than the time allowed here. Thanks again.
Thank you also for the opportunity. I appreciate that.
Until next time, everyone.